everyone, so what I've been up to, I've been pickling some cabbages, and there are some beets, bay leaves, peppers, dill, carrots, so pretty much you can pickle anything you like. And this cabbage I bought, there is a tiny store where I work, and they get fresh produce from farmers. It was a huge cabbage, I want to say maybe 14-15 pounds, and it was 59 cents a pound. So it was a really good deal, and it was really fresh, so I decided to pickle it. It's gonna take a month for that to be ready, but this is my pickled cabbage, and I will take you and show you what my garden looks like, as many of you were asking. So those are what I got from my garden. It's not the best if you're doing it for money. You're just gonna lose money because utilities with water bills, I paid 10 times more than what I have gotten, but I'm still grateful. And as I mentioned in the past, everybody has different strengths. I actually didn't think I was gonna get anything, but it looks like I got 1, 2, 3, and then 4 cabbages. And then with my carrots, they're so tiny. It's been almost 4 or 5 months, and we're almost end of October, well, middle of October, and look how tiny they are. Anyways, gardening is not for me. I don't think I'm gonna do any gardening next year, but you know, I tried and something worked. And those are my beets. So let's see what the beets looks like. So I did get a good size beets. So I did something good, something right. So I got maybe 3-4 beets, 4 cabbages. I'm gonna be making some borsch, and I will show you how I make it. Stay tuned. So here's my harvest. This is all I got from my gardening after 5 months of waiting. But you know, it is what it is. If I were to grade myself, I probably would give myself a C. But I'm actually surprised that they even came out. I didn't think I was gonna get anything because I planted from the seeds. So now let's make our borsch. What do I need for my borsch? So I have the carrots, 2 small cabbages, 3 potatoes, 1 onion, 2 beets, parsley. Here's our meat, tomato paste, salt and pepper. I sliced my meat into medium-sized cubes, and now I'm going to put it on the oven, and we will fill this up with the filtered water. So when it starts frothing, you just have to take the top layer, the top surface out, and we're gonna use that bouillon for our other parts of the soup. So I'm going to add a little bit more water until maybe all the way up to my pan, and wait until it cooks. I'm adding more filtered water until to the top of this pan. So as you could see, it's fully filled, and now let's just bring it to a boil, and once we start seeing the froth, we just have to collect that top layer. After 10 minutes, I poured the water. You could see it started to froth. Some people like to put their potatoes later. I like to do it now because this is such a time-consuming process. I don't want to wait for my tomatoes to be cooked separately. So I'm going to add it right now, and I cut my potatoes into small cubes. So let's go ahead and add into, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect those froths from the top of my pan. So let's take this out slowly. And while my meat was cooking, and I just added potatoes, meanwhile I shredded my cabbages. There is no right or wrong way to cut your cabbages. I specifically like mine like hair thin, but you can cut it in any way you like, no judgment there. And I also shredded my beets. So I cleaned the froth that was on the top of the water, and I'm going to go ahead and strain it to make it crystal clear. So our meat is halfway cooked, and I'm going to start the next step. So I have this big pan. I will coat it with oil. This is just a regular vegetable oil, but if you like to use olive oil, it's up to you. Like I said, everybody makes their own way, their borsch. This is how I make it, and I have been making it this way for years, and I like it. Some people add vinegar to preserve that beautiful red color. I don't, because all these years that I have been making without vinegar, it was still really nicely colored, so I don't have to use. Plus I don't like the smell of vinegar, so it's optional if you want to use that. I don't. When the onion becomes golden in color, you can start adding your remaining ingredients. So I will go first with my carrots, and then saute this for another 3 to 4 minutes. Then you add your beets. And then you saute for another, or you just mix together. You're just slowly adding all the veggies. So once you added those two together, you can go ahead and now add your cabbage, your shredded cabbage or cottage cabbage, however you want to do it. And then give it a good stir. Keep stirring until your veggies are nice and tender. Now let's go add our tomato paste. So tomato paste was about 3 tablespoons. You can just adjust to your taste how much you want. Mine is about 3 tablespoons. And this is where people add the vinegar to preserve that color. Like I said, I don't like the smell of it. Some of you would think, but vinegar does evaporate. However, I still prefer not to use it. But it's your choice, it's optional. If you choose to use vinegar for more deeper red color, it's up to you. Like I said, mine always turns out really nice color. Now let's go ahead and add salt. I have Himalayan pink salt, that's why it's pink, but you can use any salt you like. And then a pepper. And as you could see, our cabbage is becoming really tender. So once it's nice and tender, I will go ahead and mix it with my meat and potatoes. And at the end, I will garnish it with the parsley, and our borsch is ready. Okay, my borsch is ready. I can't wait to try, especially when outside is so cold. It's very comforting to have such meal. So there is the sour cream. It's optional. Usually they eat it with the sour cream on the side. But if you just want to have the plain borsch, and look how red the color is without any vinegar or anything. Well, bon appetit.